I'm so glad you're back and joining me for the Silent Night more advanced tutorial, and we're going to dive right into these great juicy chords, all of the fun sounds and flavors that make the sound a little more than just a traditional carol. Nothing wrong with a traditional carol, but we just want to add a few more things for those of you that are more advanced. So on that first line, Silent Night, Holy Night, traditionally it's just that one chord that we focus on, the C major chord if you're in C, which we are for today. And you notice on my first tutorial, I often insert a little bit of a hint of the 4 chord and go right back to that one. I want to take those 2 primary chords, the 1 and the 4, and build off of that to help start this beginning of Silent Night. So here we are at the keys. I'm going to play a C chord, but we're going to do it a major 7. Noticing I leave out the C in the right hand for the sake of the major 7. And then I'm going to go to the 4 chord, and it's a minor chord with the 7th, major 7th on top. Right back to where I started. And then a little bit of a surprise, a major 6, walking down the bass. All right, so put that together. And minor 4 with the major 7. And my major 6 chord, walk down the bass because we're going to the D here. Minor 2, 5, 7, walk it up. Here's your minor 6 over C with a C9. Okay, so let's break down a little bit of what all is calm, all is bright. Sometimes I can talk really fast while I'm playing and it kind of runs over us. So let's try that broken down a little bit more if you need it. On that all is calm here, D minor, just root position, and my G7. I'm walking up the bass. And I'm going to go, instead of just C, I'm going to do the A minor chord over C. That gives it a little bit more flavor there. And then I'm going to play a C9. All right, so for some of you looking, this sort of looks like a G minor chord inverted, B flat D G. It is actually. But if you're thinking C9, it's the C, the 7th, the 9th, and the 5th. And then I run that into... So bright, I keep the B flat and G out on the outer edges. F, E, F. Meanwhile, the left hand can walk up. There you go. So you have that walk to that F chord, and here's round yon virgin, F major chord this time, not the minor. So round. And then yon virgin right here on D minor 7, the 7th at the top as our melody. I like to scoot in a little bit here. Virgin Mother. So D minor 7, the end of the word virgin, you'll do G9 over B. So that's spelled A-D-G and B in my bass. And then mother would be a E minor 7. I'm spelling as a G major chord here and putting E down in the bass there. That's the easiest way to describe it. The end child. So A over C, B flat over D, then E, then we're back to the F major 7. And this basically repeats the line above it, except we go tender. Instead of to the A minor, we do A major. Yeah, we keep flitting between those 2, A major and A minor. We walk up the bass. Here's sleep, D minor. Okay, so Heavenly Peace, we add a few more spice chords in there, a little more color, and we can spell these. This would be your major 3-7 chord, or for those of you doing letters, it's E7, but you're adding the 2nd. How do I spell that? I'm going to spell it as G sharp B, E, G sharp B, that's the chord we're looking for. G sharp B, F would be the 9th that's added. I'm putting the bass over here. You could do the octave or the 7th, however you want to space that down there. Okay, so that's Heavenly Peace, just the A minor, your 6. And then we're gonna do our D7 add 9. There we go, sorry. All right, so that would take us to the right hand, essentially playing an F sharp diminished chord. F sharp, A, C, E. Just keep building those thirds. That's what we do really well. And this type of gospel chart, we just keep adding the thirds in. So it looks like an F sharp diminished chord with a 7 above it. But since we have D in the bass, then it would technically be a D major 7 chord. The 9th would be the E. So whichever way you want to spell it, as long as you have the right notes, you'll get that amazing sound. All right, then Sleep and Heavenly Peace, we're gonna do C9. So you'll see here on the keyboard, D, G, higher octave C, and E in the bass. Sleeping, here's your G. I'm gonna put an F on this, left hand. It sounds more unsettled. I am pushing energy towards the end of this line and building some excitement for what's about to come. So instead of just the normal 5 chord, I'm doing a 5 over 4. So sleep in heavenly. Sometimes I like to pump that a little bit, kind of slowly. Then here we go, flat 6. Right hand, you move up to B flat, flat 7, but I leave my left hand on the B flat. I'm all about the tension. Peace. Last minute bass up to B flat, and then just a very simple. Sometimes I like, after all of the build and the drama and all of that, just to end very simply. This is one of those times. All right, well, I hope that you got some great ideas and chord progressions that you could borrow, maybe some arranging of the chords that worked good for you. And let me know how it feels in your hands. I'd love to see your comments. And don't forget, as always, to like and subscribe. I'll catch you later.